A bright blue sky stretches over a brick apartment building as a dramatic tiny voice cries out, "Mommy." Inside, Yenna clings to her mother, sobbing dramatically like the world is ending. Sob, sob. Her mother gently cups her face and consoles. "Yenna, if you eat all your food and listen to your grandma, I'll be back home very soon, okay?" Yenna sniffles and negotiates like a tiny business mogul. "Okay, and don't forget my present." Her mom reassures her. "Okay, I won't forget it." Grandma appears, with a calm, warm, and clear voice of reason. "Don't worry about Yenna and focus on your work. And be careful about what you eat." Donghua wheels her suitcase and leaves. A plane slices through the sky with a triumphant whoosh, glittering in the sunlight. Donghua strides out of sliding airport doors, rolling her suitcase behind her. The sunlight hits just right. She smiles softly, eyes shining. The scenic city skyline by the water appears. Blue skies, sparkling river, golden trees. The city looks so picturesque. Another angle of the city. Tall buildings gleam under the sun, blending modern glass towers with classic architecture. Inside a car, Hae-yoon turns to her and asks, "Ms. Lee, didn't you say you once lived in Melbourne?" Donghua replies calmly, "Yes, 7 years ago, although it had only been for a few months. 7 years ago, but the memory clearly lingers longer than that short stay." Hae-yoon continues gently, "Still, since the buildings here haven't changed much, it must bring back a lot of memories for you." Donghua looks out the window, eyes distant. The past is definitely knocking. At the filming location appears, camera cranes, equipment, and a charming street backdrop. On Saturday, they have to check all the filming locations beforehand, and the actual filming will be conducted for 3 days from Sunday to Tuesday. The stage is set. Mr. On scratches his head and says, "What will we have for lunch? We should decide on a menu, especially since Mr. Jong will be joining us soon." Donghua eye twitches. Ugh, why would anyone cover their own accommodation and plane ticket for a business trip? Even if he says he did it to make the client happy. Earlier, Mr. On chirps to Donghua, he'll be joining the filming team. The Solid Telecom executives were so pleased. Meanwhile, Donghua internally melts into a puddle of discomfort. Ugh, but we, especially me, find this very uncomfortable. Mr. On continues, oblivious to her internal meltdown. The client mentioned wanting to try local food. Do you have any ideas? Donghua quickly pulls herself together, clutching her phone. Just a moment. Her face lights up. Ooh, this restaurant is still here. A charming restaurant exterior appears. Donghua explains warmly. It's a place that I really used to love. The location, food quality, and menu variety are all great. Most of all, it opens on Sundays. A glorious, golden meat pie appears on a plate, glowing like it descended from heaven. Warm and steamy, practically perfume the air. Donghua blushes, eyes sparkling just thinking about it. Their meat pies are to die for. Suddenly the mood shifts to ominous blue. She freezes mid-thought. Wait. Her smile turns stiff. I forgot. I took Jaehyun to that restaurant. Plus, the past has entered the chat. Flashback, she walks toward the same restaurant with a tall man, Jaehyun. Inside the memory, they sit together at a table with dessert. They took our picture to put on their wall. Back to the present day. Mr. On smiles. Wow, this place looks great. Yeah, let's go there. Donghua panics and politely asks, Sir, is it okay if I step out and come back in a bit? I'll be back in 1 hour, about 40 minutes. He shrugs. Oh, did something come up? Sure. She adds quickly. Yes, I'll also make the reservation on my way back. Inside the restaurant now, she sits nervously wearing a cap, trying to look like a completely different human. The wall behind her is covered in photos, hundreds of smiling faces. A waitress stands nearby. She nervously flips through something, sweat beads visible. Her eyes darted sideways, glancing at the wall photos. Her gaze locks onto a specific photo on the wall, hers and Jaehyun's. Her heart practically leaps out of her chest as she blurts internally, Oh, it's still there. Donghua stares at the photo wall in horror, hands flying to her mouth. Her thoughts spiral. Who knows what might have happened if someone had seen this? Next to her, hundreds of smiling Polaroids judge her silently. She carefully pulls the incriminating photo from the wall. Determination flashes in her eyes. I'll replace it with something else. Yes, because that's totally how crime scenes work. The door closes behind her with a cheerful jingle. Meanwhile, outside under a leafy tree, she slumps dramatically. The guilt. Plus, I forgot about the reservation. I better call them. She looks down at the photo in her hands. Her expression softens, nostalgia flooding back despite herself. 26-year-old Jihyun and 23-year-old Donghua. They sit side by side, smiling brightly over slices of pie. Younger. Happier. I wonder what brought us so much joy to smile that broadly. Cut to an airport runway under a clear blue sky. A plane lands at the gate. A yellow taxi labeled stops outside the airport. Jihyun steps out, composed and unreadable. He stands in front of a building entrance, sunlight catching his sharp features. He looks calm, but there's a quiet intensity in his gaze. The weather is beautiful, sunny, clear blue skies. 7 years ago, after I finished serving in the military, I came on a trip to Australia. I had stayed here for 3 weeks, yet I have no memory of this place. So I couldn't have missed anything about it. He checks his watch. Is it noon already? He walks down stone steps while talking on the phone. I'm almost there, but I'm not sure where the filming location is exactly. On the phone, a voice reports, Ms. Lee is on her way, sir. Close-up of Jihyun's face as he listens quietly, eyes sharpening just slightly. Under a bright seaside sky, Donghua walks alone along the sand. The ocean sparkles, but her expression is anything but calm. Donghua is coming toward me. Her eyes widen just a fraction. Each footfall feels heavier than the last. She stops in front of him, bows, head lowered politely. Hello, Mr. Zhang. Jihyun looks at her steadily and says, the location is this way. Please follow me. His face is unreadable, calm as she walks past him. From behind, he watches her walk ahead. He murmurs, Donghua Lee. Just like the meaning of her name, Noon, she comes close to me every time as though it were nothing, but then goes away just as swiftly. Why do you always? Mr. On interrupts his thoughts. Sir, you've arrived. Jihyun replies, yes, hello. Have you eaten? Mr. On suggests, not yet. We were thinking of going to a local restaurant. What do you say, sir? Donghua, internally screaming, repeats in a thought, say no. Say no. Say no. Say you want something else. Anything besides local food. Her side glance is practically a psychic plea. Jihyun answers calmly. Anything is fine. Mr. On brightens. Okay. Then shall we? Meanwhile, Donghua visibly droops like a wilted houseplant denied water. Mr. On asks, Ms. Lee, the restaurant is that way, right? She responds weakly. Yes. Her soul exits her body briefly. As the men walk ahead toward the restaurant entrance, Donghua lags behind, visibly sweating. Her thoughts spiral. I can't go in there again. What if they found out I stole their picture? Donghua clutches her stomach dramatically and announces, my stomach suddenly hurts. I think I need to use the ladies' room. I made the reservation in your name, sir, so don't mind me and enjoy your lunch. Excuse me. She bows slightly and retreats. Oscar-worthy performance for best fake stomachache. As they step up to the entrance, a colleague murmurs, gosh, I feel bad for Ms. Lee. She's the one who recommended the restaurant. Another asks, Ms. Lee recommended this restaurant. The colleague explains, yes, she said she used to come here when she was in Australia on a working holiday. Jihyun listens quietly as someone says, let's go in. Inside, the owner beams, welcome, then pauses, Spoken in English, he breaks into a radiant grin. Long time no see. Still grinning, the owner says, nice to see you again. Jihyun and his colleague stand at the counter. Jihyun's face politely blank, but internally buffering. Jihyun asks evenly, do you know me? The owner laughs. Of course. You came to our restaurant several years ago. Don't you remember? Jihyun replies calmly, I'm sorry. I don't. The owner insists cheerfully. Oh, but I even know your name, Mr. Zhang. I have the best memory in town. I took your picture and put it on our wall. The customers went wild over it. How's your girlfriend? Jihyun stiffens slightly. Girlfriend? The word lands like a pebble dropped into very still water. The owner clarifies, the lady you took the picture with. Wasn't she your girlfriend? You two looked very close. Sorry, Jihyun murmurs. No, that's okay. Then, almost to himself, I took a picture with someone. The owner adds, wait, I'll look for it. The owner scans the photo wall. I know it was here the last time I checked. The owner turns apologetic. I'm sorry. I was so sure it was here. Jaehyun stands with one hand in his pocket, expression composed, but curiosity flickers in his eyes. Suddenly, the owner perks up. Oh, here it is. Jaehyun's eyes shift slightly, attention locked. The owner proudly holds up the Polaroid and says, "See? This is you." He beams like he's just solved a decades-old mystery. Close-up of the photo, a smiling young woman with glasses in the foreground, and behind her, Jaehyun sits at a table with pie beside a long-haired woman. The owner explains, "The man in the photo," then adds, "And the one next to you is the woman you came with. Don't you remember?" A customer appears in front of the camera, while Jaehyun and his girlfriend's photo happens to be caught in the background. Jaehyun studies the picture intensely. Mr. On leans in. "Wow. It does seem to be you, sir. That's interesting." Jaehyun thinks. Her face is out of focus. A white t-shirt and long straight hair. Jaehyun calmly asks, "Would you mind if I took a photo of this?" The owner waves it off warmly. "Not at all." Jaehyun's mind echoes. "I had a girlfriend? I can't believe it. Or maybe I just don't want to believe it. Because now I'm interested in someone else." The name settles heavily in his thoughts. Jong-oh Lee. If you have a child, and I had a girlfriend, does that make us somewhat equal? Her eyes look distant, trying to measure fairness in a love that never balanced. Maybe now I don't have any reason to resent you. Back at the filming site, Mr. On approaches Jong-oh. "Ms. Lee, are you feeling better? That restaurant had the best meat pies." She replies lightly, "Oh, really?" He smiles. "Yeah, I wish you'd been there too, Ms. Lee." They also had a photo of Mr. Jong from 7 years ago. The original photo was gone, but the owner still remembered Mr. Jong. Jong-oh visibly flinches. Her heartbeat spikes like an alarm. She stares at him, stunned. "He did? From 7 years ago?" Mr. On nods casually. "Yeah." He even remembered his name. A colleague chats animatedly with Jaehyun. Mr. Jong's looks must be internationally recognized. The owner said everyone loved his photo, but Mr. Jong can't remember any of it. I guess because of his amnesia. Jong-oh freezes slightly. Inside, relief crashes over her. "Oh, thank God I took that photo and didn't join them in that restaurant. Imagine what could have happened if I had gone." On the beach set, staff members move lighting equipment and cases across the sand, preparing for filming. Jong-oh stands alone under a vast blue sky, wind lifting her hair softly. She looks calm on the outside, but inside, the past, the photo, the amnesia, all swirl like a storm she refuses to name. 7 years ago, in Melbourne, I came to Australia hoping to earn money and study English. But because of the language barrier, I couldn't handle work that involved interacting with people. My pay was tight, and with the rent going up, I had to starve while waiting for the next paycheck. In a small room, a coworker hands her cash. $20 is all I can lend you. Jong-oh accepts it gratefully. "Thank you so much. I'll pay you back as soon as I get my next paycheck." She jogs down a sunny street, determination in her stride as her inner resolve builds. "In case this happens again, I can't waste it. I will buy cheap groceries," and suddenly she collides into a tall man in a cap. She looks back quickly, flustered. "Sorry," then continues running to her destination. She stops near a storefront, panting. "Huff. I'm so out of breath." She digs into her pocket while thinking, rice and potatoes. Should I buy some instant ramen too? I really want some tteokbokki, but I shouldn't. Her eyes widened. Panic creeps in as she freezes mid-search. She pulls her empty pocket lining out in disbelief. Where did, then the crushing realization, my money go? She stands outside the shop, hands shoved into her pockets, panic rising. Did I drop it when I bumped into that man earlier? She thinks while search practically echoes around her. The horror intensifies. This can't be happening. That was everything I had. She lets out a defeated sigh. She starts to trudge away, thinking, why doesn't anything ever go as planned? She sniffles, Mom. I want to go back to Korea. A hand reaches toward her shoulder. Excuse me, it says gently. She turns, eyes wide and glossy. The man asks, You're Korean, right? Her brain short-circuits. He explains calmly. I bumped into you earlier, and I was worried if I hurt you. Meanwhile, she's internally combusting. Her face lights up like fireworks. A Korean, who speaks Korean? Sparkles explode around her, as if she's discovered treasure instead of just basic communication. She sobs openly now, overwhelmed. He stands there awkwardly, hands slightly out like, do I pat her back? Do I bow? What is the protocol? That's how I first met Jihyun Jong 7 years ago. He was a bit awkward back then. Even though he was shy, he was kind, thoughtful, and funny. A memory pops up. She thinks, sometimes I feel like I can see his old face in Yena's. The tiny crossed-arm kids mirror his serious little expression. Genetics? Fate? Who knows? Her phone buzzes. She pulls it out. Huh? Who could it be? On screen, hello? Mommy. She beams. Princess Yena. Walking by the water, she asks, what do you want? Yena answers enthusiastically, a kangaroo. She chuckles. I can't get you a real kangaroo. Yena clarifies, I mean, a kangaroo stuffy. Mommy, I like kangaroos. She asks, why do you like kangaroos? Yena gives herself a loving hug and replies, because the mommy kangaroos have big pouches where they carry around their babies. I want to be a baby kangaroo and live in your pouch. Her heart melts into a puddle of sparkly mush. Jong-ho blushes, overwhelmed with love hearts practically floating out of her soul. Be good and listen to your grandma, and have fun at preschool, okay? I'll bring home a stuffed kangaroo this Tuesday. Yena replies, okay, I can't wait to see you. She slips her phone away and rustles through her bag. Oh right, the photograph. She glances down at the photo. The picture shows her and Jihyun smiling brightly over slices of pie, hands intertwined. I guess I won't ever see him smile like that again. Ouch. She stares at the photo against the bright sky, pensive. Since Jihyun has changed, and so has our relationship. Maybe this memory doesn't belong to us anymore, but to that restaurant. She decides, I should put it back. The photo slides into her pocket like it knows it's been demoted to archived feelings. She walks forward. It's chilly. It's still summer in Korea. While I was stuck in an endless winter, I wonder if you were lost somewhere in the midst of summer. She looks up across the crosswalk, and there he is. Jihyun walks toward her in a sharp suit, hands in pockets, like fate clocked in for work. Her face trembles. Why? Why do you always show up at times like this? He approaches, composed, unreadable. She lowers her gaze, purse, and steps forward. They pass close, too close, yet still feels so distant. His lips pursed. He's about to say something, or swallow it. His hand reaches out toward her wrist. He grabs her hand firmly. She spins around in shock, hair flying, eyes wide. His jaw tightens, eyes sharp but wounded. He asks, how long are you going to keep avoiding me? The accusation lands softly but stings like a slap. His voice hardens. What happened to the bold woman who said I was your man? She pulls her hand back, away from his grip. He presses, Ms. Lee, don't you owe me an apology? She fires back immediately. For what? He replies, you said you lived alone with your mother. She lowers her head, biting back frustration. Her heart accuses, you think I wanted to hide Yena from you? His frustration spills out one after another. Aren't you at least going to try to explain yourself? Why won't you even look at me? Is it because you feel too guilty to face me? The falling leaves and blurred scenery. Without saying a single word, her expression accuses, why? Do I have to listen to you say that here, of all places? When this is the place where we first met, you fool, tears pool in her golden eyes, cheeks flushed pink with emotion. She looks at him directly. He exhales sharply. Why are you crying when I'm the one that's been played? She snaps back. I can cry as much as I want. He frowns down at her. Then what are you crying about? Because you're sorry you lied to me. She explodes, finally looking up at him with tear-streaked fury. No, because you're acting just like my cold-hearted ex. His face, eyes sharp, jaw tight, voice low but cutting. You have no idea how cruel you're being, do you? You seriously want to bring up that jerk? If this is what you were going to do, why did you approach me? Why did you pretend to be my friend and let me kiss you? Do you seriously want to act like none of that ever happened? You think by avoiding me and saying the cruelest things, you can erase all of it? Well, sorry to disappoint you, but that's not how this ends. Now it's your call. My answer is this. He slides a black hotel room card into her palm and adds, this is the reason I came here in the first place. And if you're going to come to me, you'd better not think you can walk away from me again. Because once you're mine, he leans down, faces inches apart, holding both her hands, card trapped between their fingers. Her eyes are wide, tears clinging to her lashes. Back in the office, Yunbai stands at a cubicle, hands on the desk, voice syrupy sweet. Ms. Song, are you feeling better? I've been so worried. Miran replies calmly. Thank you. I'm all better now. Yunbai continues, sounding concerned but aiming precisely. Since you're busy recovering from surgery, I guess the credit for all your hard work will go to Ms. Lee. Miran immediately corrects her. No, Ms. Lee even did the presentation. She deserves the credit. Yunbai fakes smiling brightly. Still, this isn't just a domestic shoot, it's overseas. The advertisers will be there too. You must be worried since her position isn't high enough. She looks stunned when Miran says, That's why Mr. Zhang joined them yesterday. Go Eunju adds, Didn't you hear about Mr. Zhang's business trip, Miss Chai? Oh, I guess you didn't. Yunbai wonders. Jihyun left for a business trip? To be with Zhang-o? Internal alarm bells. She forces composure, turning away, but veins clearly pop on her face. I'm glad that he did. The advertisers must be so relieved. I'll get going now. I have some documents to print. Miran whispers, Miss Go, don't be too harsh. It hasn't been that long since they broke up. Eunju responds flatly, Ms. Song. I don't bend once I decide. Sparkles glint around her. By the exit sign in the hallway, Yunbai is on the phone confronting her brother with blazing eyes. Yunyap, are you even trying to split Zhang-o and Jihyun apart? Jihyun followed Zhang-o on her business trip. She's a single mom, and she's trying to seduce my Jihyun. Yunyap stands with his phone to his ear, eyebrows twitching as chaos blasts through the speaker. He winces slightly as he presses his fingers to his temple, eyes squeezed shut in second-hand exhaustion. Sigh, Yunbai, don't overstep, all right? You just keep quiet and stay low. Then slams his phone down on the desk. His thought explodes in frustration, as if I don't have enough things to worry about. His veins practically pop with stress as the phone suffers the consequences. On his laptop screen, a file labeled Zhang-o-investigation report.docs gets selected. A soft, glowing photo fills the frame. Zhang-o Lee, 29 years old, copywriter. She smiles warmly beside her laughing daughter. A single mom with a 6-year-old daughter. The image radiates sunshine and innocence. His eyes narrow as he processes the information. A 6-year-old, he clicks his tongue. Jihyun lost his memories 7 years ago. So if the kid is 6 years old, the timeline starts flashing red in his brain. The speculation darkens the mood. Maybe Zhang-o Lee got pregnant with her before that. Jihyun doesn't know about this. That's for sure. But it's only a matter of time before he finds out about her. First, I'll have to find out whether Mrs. Zhang knows about that child. Back in Melbourne, someone encourages, Day 2 of shooting, let's go. Staff bustle around equipment as Jihyun approaches from behind, suit crisp, aura unreadable. Jihyun in the sunlight, city buildings behind him. He looks composed, professional, but distant. His gaze sharps as he stares at Zhang-o, giving instructions to workers. Last night, Zhang-o did not come to me. Feeling hollow, I returned to the restaurant from earlier that day and was on my way back after finding 0 clues. And that's when I ran into her. Zhang-o Lee, who always runs away, always lies, and likes to get under my skin. The woman who always lived in the past ended up awakening my present. She made me realize how pathetic I am, how much I'm missing right now. That now, you're more important to me than the memories I've lost. So, he pleads silently, look at me. Don't push me away. Zhang-o Lee, while Zhang-o continues working without noticing him. Sunlight glinting in her hair. Back in Korea, at Go Academy, Yena and Do-bin are playing a Go game. Do-bin asks cheerfully, Yena, want to come over to my house tonight? My mom said she'd bake bread for us. Yena answers simply, firmly. No. Do-bin blinks, confused. Why not? Yena with a teary face, cheeks flushed pink, says sadly, my mommy still hasn't come home from her business trip. She's not even answering her phone. She abandoned me, mommy. Zhang-o stands outside under soft sunlight as her phone vibrates loudly. She checks the screen, brows knitting slightly. She lifts the phone to her ear. Hello. A tiny, panicked voice bursts through. Mommy. Zhang-o's eyes widen, startled. Her heart practically jumps out of her chest. Then, urgently, Princess Yena. Yena's teary little face, cheeks flushed and eyes puffy says, Mommy, why didn't you call? I was so worried. Zhang-o replies gently, guilt creeping in. Oh, sorry. I called too late and you had already left for preschool. Yena fires back with pure child logic. Then why didn't you call my preschool? Jong-ho hurries down the sidewalk, phone pressed tight to her ear. She apologizes quickly. Sorry, I should have. Were you very worried? Don't cry, princess. Be a good girl and wait for me. I'll be home in no time with your present, okay? A small, fragile reply comes back. Okay. The call ends with a quiet, painful click. She slips her phone into her purse, and something else slides out. In the bag, a black card was given to her by Jihyun. Her thoughts weigh heavy. I'd better reach you soon, because our child is growing every day. But I can't tell you just yet. Remembering the note left in her baby's backpack after the kidnap. She has your looks and her father's personality. Seryun, the reason for her silence. Not until I figure out who's threatening our Yena. Jong-ho stands deep in thought, hand at her lips. Her mind spirals. If only I could find out more about Jihyun's mother. If I could at least take a look at his phone, then a voice interrupts. Miss Lee. It was Mr. On. Yes, sir. He reports cheerfully. Thanks to you, the shoot was a success. It looks like we won't have to work overnight. She exhales in relief. That's a relief. He continues, practical and upbeat. We'll probably wrap up by 10 tonight. You should get some rest too. Jong-ho blinks, caught off guard. Oh, her mind is clearly somewhere else. Up ahead, Jihyun walks alongside another man. Jong-ho answers politely. Yes, thank you, sir. Professional on the outside. Emotional hurricane on the inside. That leaves 6 hours before I board my plane back to reality. What should I do? 6 hours. One hotel card. 1,000 unresolved feelings. A hairdryer hums loudly. Whir. Jong-ho dries her hair, one hand brushing it back as she stares off, clearly not just thinking about conditioner. This is pre-battle preparation. Fabric rustles softly. She buttons her blouse with careful fingers. Between looking after my child and getting through each day, I let myself go. But did Jihyun think I looked pretty nonetheless? Her heels strike the polished floor, click-clack. The thought continues. That makes me even more nervous. She stands in front of a wooden hotel door, heart pounding. Ba-dum. Ba-dum. Something will change once I open this door. Her finger hovers near the doorbell. Hesitate. She debates internally. Should I push the doorbell? He gave me a key card, but he could be having a meeting with the advertiser or something. She resolves herself. I'll knock, and if he doesn't answer, I'll quietly go back and return the key card. Her knuckles tap on the door. Knock, knock. The lock turns. Click. Jihyun stands there in a white shirt, slightly rumpled, gaze intense and focused entirely on her. She looks up at him. He cups her face gently, leaning closer. He pulls her inside his hotel room and pins her against the wall and desperately kisses her. Her mind wonders. Had I been waiting for this moment? Her arms wrap around him instinctively. The hotel key card lies forgotten on the floor. They kiss without letting go. There is absolutely no hesitation left. Just hands in hair, fingers gripping fabric, and 6 hours rapidly losing their innocence. His hand cradles the back of her head, his lips moving slow and deliberate. She lets out a soft, breathy ugh. Her hand presses against his chest, and the tension spikes another 10 levels. He suddenly lifts her. She gasps, startled. Kaya. His hands secure her waist like she weighs nothing at all. She wraps her arms around his shoulders as he carries her effortlessly. He looks up at her with a teasing smirk and asks, Are we just going to kiss? He steps forward. Her heels tumble off onto the floor. She protests, flustered. I can walk by myself. He plops her on the bed and immediately starts kissing her, not giving her a chance to protect. He trails kisses along her neck. Her cheeks flush deep pink, lips parted, breath shaky. She trembles, whispering urgently, Ugh, wait. But he continues, lips brushing and sucking her skin. His hand slides down her chest, ready to get to work. She grabs his wrist and blurts, I'll do it. Bold declaration. Nervousness and anticipation collide head-on. He pulls his shirt off. And there it is, sculpted abs, broad shoulders, and a long scar cutting down his torso. She pauses. Her fingers clutch her green blouse as she stares at the scar, her expression shifting from flustered to concerned. Softly, she asks, Are you all right? He responds evenly, What do you mean? She answers gently, You were in an accident. Her fingers hover near the scar as she asks, Your scar looks deep. Does it hurt? He replies calmly, almost dismissively. If it still did, there'd be something wrong with it. They sit on the bed, his arm around her waist. He looks at her steadily and asks, "Would you like for them to return?" The air shifts from heat to something heavier. She replies, "Of course, it's 3 years' worth of your memories." He says it lightly, but the weight of lost time lingers between them. She rests her hand against his abdomen near the scar and asks softly, "How did you live for 7 years?" Then her voice lowers with empathy. "Losing your memories must feel like losing yourself." Her fingers trace absent-minded circles, as if trying to understand him through touch. He looks down, eyes distant, and answers dryly, "Like I said before, in a very boring way. Why do you keep touching my scar? There's plenty of other places to touch." She jolts. Her shoulders tense, fingers hovering midair, caught between flustered and flattered. A slow smirk curves on his lips. "I told her to touch me elsewhere, and she takes her hand away." He pushes her gently back onto the bed and leans over her, their bodies aligning. Her hands clutch his shoulders as their breathing grows heavier. As he lowers himself to her, his thoughts express his longing for her. You have no idea what it feels like to desperately drive your hands beneath someone's clothes, because you're unable to read their thoughts. I want all of you. It's not just desire. It's frustration, longing, the need for certainty. Her flushed face, eyes half-lidded, breath trembling. Late at night, Sung-yu sits alone at his kitchen table, laptop glowing in the dark apartment. The room is silent except for the faint hum of electricity and his steady breathing. The screen light reflects in his glasses as he scrolls through a report. He swallows hard gulp. A file photo of her fills the screen. The caption reads, "Jong-ho Lee, 29 years old." Below it, nothing noteworthy. The report continues, other than the fact that both her and her mother are single moms. She has a quiet, repetitive life between her home, her mother's restaurant, and work. Images flash of storefronts and offices, routine, ordinary, almost painfully normal. More lines scroll past. She recently visited the hospital because of her boss's surgery. Then his internal thought surfaces. She seems like an ordinary, hard-working woman. I wonder why Jihyun wanted me to look into her. He flinches as something in the report catches him off guard. A bright photo of Jong-ho and Yena fills the screen, both smiling, eyes closed, cheeks pressed together in pure happiness. Innocent, warm. Sung-yu covers his mouth, eyes wide behind his glasses as a chilling thought appears. My son Do-bin's first love, Yena, is Miss Lee's daughter? His brain short-circuits. Coincidence? Fate? Or something messier? Is this really a coincidence? Miss Lee isn't using Yena to deliberately get close to Jihyun, is she? Then paranoia doubles down. Maybe my wife is also being used. The investigation just became personal. He sits alone in the dim apartment and exhales. A heavy thought follows. What should I do about this? The quiet night feels suffocating. Back in Melbourne, dusk melts into the interior of a bedroom. Morning light barely filters through as Jong-ho wakes wrapped in Jihyun's bare arms. She looks up at him, their faces inches apart beneath the sheets. Reality feels fragile. Close-up of her flushed face, heart pounding. She thinks, I almost forgot. For a moment I thought this was a dream. Her gaze drifts over his broad shoulder. Her internal confession lands. I can't believe I'm waking up in a man's arms instead of next to Yena. She quietly gets out of bed and puts on her clothes. She thinks, he looks like an angel when he's sleeping. Why is he so mean and sexy when he's awake? She sits up on the edge of the bed and steals a glance back. The thought lingers. Maybe this is all just a dream, and everything will disappear when I wake up. I hope I messed with your head as much as you did to me last night. His face was soft and unguarded. Her silent plea floats. Jihyun, please remember me. She sits on the edge of the bed, arms wrapped around herself, stealing a cautious glance back at his bare form sprawled under the sheets. Determination settles over her expression. She thinks, now it's time for me to do what I have to. I just need to find out how close he is to his mother, whether he'd be willing to trust me more than her. She turns toward him, hand hovering uncertainly as she wonders. He is asleep, right? The tiny wave of her hand to see if he's awake. I'll just check his phone for a second. Her hand inches forward to reach for his phone. Suddenly, a sleepy voice cuts through. You're awake? He props himself up, drowsy, eyes half-lidded. She jolts upright like she's been electrocuted. Panicked, she blurts, Yes. I've got a lot of things to get done." He sits up and says smoothly, "Let's go together." He grabs her wrist before she can escape. She stammers, "No, I also have to shower and get changed. I'm going back to my room." He leans in close behind her and murmurs, "Shower here." Close-up of his torso brushing against her. He presses a soft kiss to her hair, and her thought betrays her. I forgot this was what he was like. Her resolve wavers. She thinks, but no. As his arm slides around her again, she struggles to hold on to her plan and her sanity, while her heart absolutely refuses to cooperate. She shifts awkwardly, cheeks burning, and admits, "I'm uncomfortable." Her posture stiffs. He leans closer and asks gently, "Does it hurt a lot?" She mumbles, a bit." Her inner voice adds, "I'm not entirely lying." Suddenly she's tucked snugly into the blanket. He doesn't tease. He rises from bed, phone in hand. He smiles over his shoulder and says, "Then, stay in bed a bit longer. We still have time. I'll be out of the shower in a sec." The phone rests on the table. Her eyes lock on it. Her heart kicks. Her thought screams, "Now's the time." She moves quickly. The phone is in her hands before her conscience can object. She taps the messages. Tap. Contact name, Mother. A preview pops up. "Have a nice trip, my love." Her pulse spikes. More texts appear. "Is there anything you want to eat, darling? I'll tell the cook to make it next time you come home." His reply, "Anything's fine. I'll stop by when I get the chance." Another message, "I love you, darling. You know how I feel, right?" His response, "Yes, I love you too." The words echo louder than they should. Her face falls into shadow as she stares at the screen. The light of the phone reflects in her eyes, but her expression is unreadable. She drops the phone back onto the table. A soft, dreamy overlay shows him holding her from behind, wrapped in warmth. Her heart aches. Those words he wrote so casually to his mother. The embrace looks loving, but it feels distant. The image fractures into something darker, distorted like cracked glass. Were words he never said to me before. The realization slices deeper than she expects. The bedroom door opens with a quiet creak. His voice carries in gently. "Miss Lee, stay here if you're still not feeling well." He steps inside, now dressed in a robe, tying the belt, composed and unreadable. He stops near the bedside table, eyes lowered. The phone is resting there. It seemed like she was reaching for my phone earlier, too. He grabs his phone and looks at his phone history of apps recently used. Maybe I shouldn't have stopped her. Jong-Oh Lee. He looks down at his phone, face half-shadowed, a bead of water still sliding down his neck. The final thought hangs heavy in the air. "What were you trying to look at?"